amazing leaders. I hope you're doing well today. My name is Megan Akatu, and I'm a leadership coach. And I help leaders lead more from authenticity, because when you are authentic, you are taking good care of yourself, which means you can take better care of those around you, both at work and at home. Today, we're diving into 3 secrets about how to build resilience. So it feels like resilience is needed more than ever. So in this post-pandemic world, there's a lot coming at us at work every day, from new policies, from we're expected to do more with less, and really a lot of the employees that we're working with are just very, very tired. So how do we keep our resilience up so that we can be our true selves and support those around us? So let's get started. First, we're going to talk about what resilience is and what it isn't. Resilience is not just toughing it out, stuffing down your feelings, telling everyone around you that everything is fine. Resilience is about bouncing back, but doing it with intentionality and doing it where you are actually feeling your feelings and you are learning. And through this process, you are also knowing the next right step to take for you. So for instance, here is a story about an oak tree. So an oak tree is big and sturdy, and it's like, ooh, I am so strong. And I'm standing here in the middle of this field. And then there's reeds, and the reeds are blowing in the wind. And the oak tree says to them, well, you're never gonna make it anywhere. I am big and tough. And then a tornado comes through, and the oak tree gets uprooted and falls over on its side. And the reeds are still there, and they're grounded, because they were flexible and they were agile and they were able to adapt to the situation. So that is what we were talking about today. All right, so tip number 1, as far as how we build resilience, and I'm gonna do this with a story. So let's say you are sitting in a meeting, you're in a leadership team meeting, and boss person says, actually to the person next to you, not even to you, with a really harsh tone, like, why did you do that? Or why, this P&L isn't correct. And what were you thinking when this happened? Did we not forecast correctly? And immediately what happens is this starts to activate the inner judge. And we all have one. And so your inner judge is gonna start saying like, what did I screw up? What happens if my boss finds out that I've made a mistake? Am I able to cut it here in this job if this person is getting yelled at in this meeting? So this is immediately what starts to begin in your own head. And so what we're going to do is, number 1, is we really are going to start listening to our body. And what are the sensations that are happening? And what is going on? For instance, when the situation is about someone else, my heart gets like really tight, and I call it cringy heart, because it literally is in a ball and it starts to hurt, because I'm like, oh my gosh, why is this person being yelled at? Doesn't our boss see how hard she or he is working? But on the flip side, if that feedback was coming directly to me, I get more the flush face, a tight chest, but it's different than my cringy heart. So I use my body to cue me up for what is actually going on. And what is actually going on in this situation is that I'm actually more concerned about my coworker right now than I am about myself. But with that knowledge, then I now know the next best thing to do. And so for number 2, we get to choose how much we are going to take away from that conversation and what we're going to put into that backpack after that conversation and carry out with us in that meeting. So you could carry the whole emotional unrest in that meeting. You're carrying it for your boss, you're carrying it for the person that's being yelled at, you're carrying it for yourself, you're carrying it for all the other team members in the meeting, watching what is happening and being like, I'm here, I'm going to solve it all, I'm going to fix it all. And now you've walked out of that meeting with a really heavy backpack. And either now you need to go regulate yourself, you need to go for a walk, you need to check on that coworker, you need to call a friend, you might need to call your mom, you need to go get a milkshake, you need to have the meeting after the meeting. And now you've also wasted a whole bunch of time because you have decided that you want to carry all of that baggage with you out of the meeting. Or you can say, okay, this is not about me. This was directed at Sabrina. And though I'm also curious what else might be going on for our boss right now. What sort of meeting did that person just come from? I am going to check on Sabrina after the meeting. And I also know that it was not about me. And so you can get back to what you need to do a little bit faster. All right, tip number 3. Rome was not built in a day, and resilience is not built in a day. So in order to bounce back a little bit faster and know what to do and listen to your body and know how much baggage to take away with you after that meeting, you really need to be taking good care of yourself. And you might even be sick of hearing me saying this because I think it comes up on every single video. But really, what are you doing to celebrate your own wins day in and day out? This starts to build resilience. What are you doing for your own self-care to take care of your body? How are you moving your body? How are you fueling your body? And also, how are you being still in order to give yourself time to think, time to journal, time to process? And let's say you even have a really good practice of doing that. You might also want to add in the practice that I'm also going to make sure that I have 5 to 10 minutes to myself before I walk into leadership team meetings every week, in order so that I can be present, so that I can also be present for what else is happening in that meeting, but also so that I can really listen, and not from a place where our judge is speaking, but really listen of what is being asked of me, what is being asked of my colleagues, and that way then you guys can work together in a more efficient way. And so the more we practice this and the more that we are aware in the meeting, these are the practices that also quiet that inner judge. So hopefully you found these tips helpful on how to build resilience. Please subscribe below so we can keep producing videos like this, and I'll see you soon. Bye, managers.